Okay, so in this video, we want to figure out a way to tell when the graph of a function is concave down. So let's draw the graph of an arbitrary concave down function. And again, this is the graph of our function y equals f of x. And we will now look at a second plane, not the xy plane this time, but the xy prime plane. So we want to look at the corresponding graph of the derivative of this function. So let's look at three distinct points on the original function. So if we pick this x value, looking at the corresponding point on the function, well, the derivative again is the slope of the function, which is by definition the slope of its corresponding tangent line. And if you notice, at this point, we have a tangent line of positive slope. Therefore, the value of y prime, the derivative at the exact same x value, is positive. Let's now take this other x value, which is the exact point where the graph of our function happens to be horizontal, flat. So at this point, the tangent line is horizontal. But if we have a horizontal tangent line, then the slope of this line is 0. But of course, the slope of the tangent line is the value of the derivative. So at the same corresponding x value, the value of y prime now is equal to 0. Let's pick one last x value, say this one. Again, we want to look at the slope of the function at this point. And if you notice now, we have a tangent line of negative slope. So the value at this point, x of y prime, is now negative. And if you notice, this means that when the graph of our function is concave down, then the graph of its derivative is decreasing. But a function, whatever it is, can only be decreasing if its derivative is negative. But if you take the derivative of the original function, then you took the derivative of y twice. So this is nothing but the second derivative, which we can also write using the d over dx squared notation of y. And we now have our conclusion. The graph of a function can only be concave down if the graph of its derivative is a decreasing function, but a function, whatever it is, can only be decreasing if its own derivative is less than 0. And so we have our conclusion. So the graph of any function y equals f of x is concave down if the second derivative of the function is negative. And that's it.